Put your eyes back in your head.
I felt like flavor. What me do?
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.
Get up and get down. 911 is a joke in your town. Get up and get down. 911. Fill in the blanks, motherfuckers. What's going on, people? This is the one, the only, the freestyle king. All right, we don't do scripts in this motherfucker. We come right off the dome with facts, the stats, and the truth. And if you don't like that, I got 2 words for you. Fuck off. All you motherfuckers in this chat right now, the Xavier Littman, Ghost Peppers, Pat Norris, Keyshawn Vlad, A1, Smooth C, all y'all can go to hell. So we're just gonna start it off right off the top. So before I get in there, I want to do something really quick. All right, so y'all just bear with me. All right. I'll be right back after these messages, okay?
Check him live. 6MK himself, aka K-Style, aka Pame, today at this evening at 6 o'clock, 6:05. The conversation is going to be RAHEEM Morris is the new Michael Vick. I know you probably looking at yourself like, what in the hell are these guys up to this time? Well, this conversation is definitely going to pique your interest because we're going to be straight up real about this situation, because there's been some comments that's been stated about RAHEEM Morris, and some people don't want to speak on it, some want to speak on it, but we're going to give you the full breakdown tonight. All right. Again, 6 p.m. this evening. Check us out, 6MK Live. You definitely do not want to hit it, and that's the bottom line, because Mad Mike said so. Also, do not forget to join the Mad Mike membership for just $1.99. All right, $1.99 for exclusive content. You will get early access to a lot of videos that I'm breaking down as far as, you know, quarterbacks and players in the NFL, teams, and my expectations. You would definitely get more of my expectations of the season and where it's going to go. So do not be shy. Hit that join button for $1.99 at the Mad Mike membership.
All right, so now we got that shit out the way. All right, so you're probably saying to your damn self, you're probably saying to yourself, all right, what's up with the title? What's up with the title? Well, we'll get to that. All right. But I think the thing at hand that I want to particularly talk about, the schedule. Okay, so let's just get to the schedule. All right. The Atlanta Falcons schedule, you've probably seen from quite a few of the creators, Falcon creators out here, NFL creators that's out here. They've gotten their take on it, but you know, Senator like to do things his way. First, we got week 1. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, September 7th. Week 2, September 14th, which is my sister's birthday, the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football. Week 3, the Carolina Panthers. Hey, pussycat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. You got week 4 with the Washington Commanders. That's going to be interesting in itself because we're going to have a whole kiss-off. Going to be Raheem Morris and Dan Quinn. They're going to be buttering each other up, baby oiling each other up. Y'all know it. Don't try to act like I'm not the only one that's going to be seeing it. Go, oh, my God. Raheem is such a great coach. I'm so happy for him. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Dan Quinn, I love you, baby. I love you, Dan. We had so much fun in 2016. Too bad we couldn't just get it done. Gonna be a fucking kiss off. Y'all fucking know it. So I'm not looking forward to that shit. All right, not looking forward. And then week 5, we got to buy after the get the kiss off because guess what? The kiss is perfect timing. This is perfect timing for them to kiss and tell and then do their thing on week 4, week 5. Y'all know it. Don't try to act like you know it's gonna be some week. Look, it came right on time. Right on time. That's all this gonna be. A full-fledged kiss off. And then week 5, we gotta buy. Okay. Now we have week 6, which is gonna be interesting. What I like, and that's Monday Night Football. Okay, Monday Night Football with the Buffalo Bills. We take on Josh Allen and that squad. We got the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers. And that hillbilly, that country boy. No, I'm just playing. We got that piece of absolute shit and Kyle Shanahan we're going to be taking up. That's going to be interesting in this song, right? And you have the Miami Dolphins, week 8. And by the way, that San Francisco 49er game is going to be a Sunday night football. We got to hear that damn Chris Collinsworth, but that's a whole nother story. We got the Miami Dolphins. What's going on with that team? And then you got the New England Patriots. We don't put up 40 on them. I'm going to be highly disappointed. You got the Indianapolis Colts and Berlin. And I would just want to give a sincere, and this is from the bottom of my heart. What's up, Cuzzo? This is from the bottom of my heart. And I really mean this. I love the international fans, but fuck the NFL for giving us all these goddamn overseas. I'm tired of waking up at damn 9 o'clock in the damn morning to get myself hyped. I got to wake up at damn 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the damn morning. I got to disturb my own sleep because y'all don't want, oh my God. Why we gotta be? Why as fans do we gotta wake up at 9 a damn o'clock, probably 6 o'clock to get ready for the day? Disturb our routine because y'all want to go overseas and to Germany and shit. And this is no shot at the damn international fan because I absolutely love you guys. But damn, why we gotta be up at 9 o'clock in the damn morning? Why they can't be? Okay, sheesh. All right. Then we got the Panthers, the Pussycats. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, Pussycats? Not a damn thing. We got the Pussycats in week 11, week 12. We got the New Orleans Stankerlankers. Them son bitches. And them three. I was gonna say something, but I don't want to get I don't want to get fined. But the Stanks, we got them week 12 and week 13. We got Jeff Ulbrich returning to face his old squad and the New York Jets. And we got that Homo erectus, their new quarterback, Justin Fields, excuse me, Wondrell. But we got him coming in week 13 at New York. And then we got Seattle Seahawks with their new quarterback, Sam Darnold. Week 15, the Buccaneers. We got them coming in, and then we have the Arizona Cardinals, Week 16. And by the way, that Bucs game is a Thursday night football game. All right, so we get about a 10-day off on that. And then the LA Rams. Yeah, I want to talk about that. So, because people probably saying it's like, yeah, it's all, and this is why I want to talk about it before I get into some other stuff. But I want to talk about that because a lot of people are. So let me say this. I think we all heard what Matthew Judon said about this Atlanta Falcons defense. Well, let me just say this, because I don't recall that somebody say something. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but when did Judon in that article say anything about Jimmy Lake? And this is kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm just kind of this evening, 6 p.m. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but did he in any way, shape, or form say Jimmy Lake's name? That's what I want to know. I don't recall seeing Matthew Judon say Jimmy Lake's name. That's what that right there is really kind of interesting to me. And like I said, y'all gonna get y'all gonna get a treat tonight. Cause like I said, I got a major problem. I have a major problem for this. Okay. So the Rams, after Jimmy Lake was fired by the Atlanta Falcons as the defensive coordinator, he was picked up by the Rams to be the senior defensive assistant over with the Rams. I mean, they hired him almost immediately. Almost immediately, they hired him. So that's interesting in its own right. Like I said, I'm going to go in detail with that particular topic, but that's very interesting. Okay, so y'all definitely want to be sure to subscribe to 6MK because we got something to say about that. Oh yeah. Look, you talking about something heated? Oh boy. Yeah. I'm. Look, y'all. If y'all probably want to rant, this is probably the night to do it. This is probably tonight to subscribe to 6MK because trust me, I got a major problem. A major problem with this. But the thing is, even with that, I'm looking at this schedule, and this is something that Truth talked about earlier this morning. And like I said, we're going to give our take on it. But the problem that I have here is that right off the bat, come on, man. We're supposed to have the fourth Let me say this again. We're supposed to have the fourth easiest schedule in the league. Easiest schedule. And you see right off the bat what they did doing. Right off the bat, they didn't waste no time. Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Carolina, and Washington. Washington's a playoff team. Carolina, not so much. The Vikings, you know, you say they're a playoff team. Tampa Bay playoff team. So right off the bat, you give us 3 playoff teams. 2 division games, and right off the bat. I see you, NFL. So the storyline with Tampa Bay, obviously Tampa Bay won the division and ended up, you know, eliminating the Atlanta Falcons from the playoffs. All we needed to do was beat Tampa Bay. We failed at that. All we need to do is show some type of guts and nuts against the Minnesota Vikings. Well, that didn't happen for a number of reasons. And then Carolina, you know, we pretty much embarrassed ourselves with them. And then Washington again, embarrassed ourselves with them. Could have won, but we couldn't stop one player from running. One player, we couldn't stop him from running. Not throwing, but we couldn't stop him from running. So I'm probably saying to myself, you say, I'm like, all right, why you get those 4 guys, 4 teams right off the bat like this? You get those 4 teams right off the bat. And for me, the question is whether or not you guys believe that Raheem Morris' job could be in jeopardy. First of all, I'm going to give y'all my biased opinion. This is my biased opinion. Because I believe in being honest, straightforward. This is my biased opinion about Raheem Morris. If we can't come out at least 2-2 in these 4 games, his ass need to be fired. Need to be fired. And I'm talking about a 2-2 where I clearly see, and I'm talking about clearly, I don't want no, oh, we got 3 turnovers and we get 1 sack out of all those games. No, we need to see a clear and decisive change defensively. A clear and decisive change defensively to see, all right, now I can see what Raheem is doing. Now I can see when you look at this defense and say, all right, this is his imprint. And again, this is my biased opinion about Raheem. My own personal opinion about it. I need to see clear and decisive. I'm talking about decisive when it's clear. There's no doubt whatsoever that this is, we're talking about not Jeff Ulbrich. We're not talking about Jerry Gray. We're not talking about none of that shit. I need to see what his imprint is on this defense. I don't need to see 3 interceptions. I need to see sacks. I need to see clear, and I'm talking about clear change in the linebacking core, where these guys are aggressive, where they can stop the run, they're hitting their gaps. I need to see that. And if I don't see a clear and decisive change, and I'm not talking about them having 15 sacks and all that shit. I don't need that. I need to see a clear and decisive change in defense to say, all right, I see where Raheem is going with this. Because it's easy to look at the roster and say, yeah, Raheem and those guys are doing a good job. But if we don't see it on field, if I don't see him changing as a coach and understanding the moments in the game. Because one of the things and one of the most frustrating things for me is what I saw in 2016, and that's it. Look, and nothing has changed with RAHEEM. It's the same thing. He's reluctant. He want to look at his players and say, "Oh, I got my players back, man! Yay! I got all the players back. I believe in Kirk Cousins. I believe in Kirk Cousins." Yeah, he believes in Kirk Cousins. Even when this shit has completely threw everybody for a loop. I don't need him to sit up here and hog down. And I'm talking about hunt down on the same statement, man. Kirk Cousins, the reason why we got here. Kirk Cousins, the reason why we got here. Kirk Cousins, the reason why we got here. Kirk. No. I need to see a decisive change in him as a coach. I'm talking about a head coach. The decision making. I don't care nothing about numbers and all that. I need to see a clear change in him as a head coach and as a defensive coach, because his level of expertise, y'all, and don't let this bullshit, don't let him and that Falcons regime fool y'all with all this. Oh, he was a part of the offense. Oh, look, this man is a defensive coach. He ain't no fucking offensive play caller. Never was. He not a quarterback guru. He not a wide receiver guru, because the only reason why he was a defensive when he was working with the wide receivers is because wide receivers and DBs is essentially the same thing. Analyzing routes, how to play against certain routes. That's a passing game tissue. So when it coming out of RAHEEM, I don't need to see the same shit that I've seen for him for year after year after year. So if he comes out 2-2 and the defense doesn't look any better, he as a coach doesn't look any better, I'm talking about week 5 firing his ass. He needs to be fired if we don't see a clear and decisive change in him as a coach. Let me say it again. This is my biased opinion. If we don't see a clear and decisive change in him as a head coach, he needs to be fired. Period. The end. Because he's been in this league over 20 years and still nothing has changed. You are who you are at this point. If the Atlanta Falcons don't go 2-2, and there's a clear and decisive, hear what I'm saying, y'all. If there isn't a clear and decisive change in his approach to being a head coach, decision making, when to put guys in, when to understand when the quarterback isn't playing well, we need to abandon ship and say, all right, the quarterback ain't playing well right now. Let's run the ball. Or with the running game is not going, we need to make sure that Mike Penix can at least get us a couple 5-10 yards here to add to the running game, to get the ball out of hand quick. If we need to go to the RPO, if we need to go to the screen game, if we need to go to the tight end. I'm talking about clear and decisive offensive issues, defensive issues where we saying, all right, we can't stop the run right now. Let's bring everybody up and get a little bit more aggressive and play press coverage. I need to see those clear and decisive change in attitude and play calling and scheme. And I don't need to see this shit after halftime when we done gave up fucking 15, 20 goddamn points. Like he always does. He want to wait to halftime and start being aggressive when we down goddamn 28 points. I don't need to see that. I need to see solid in-game change for him as a coach. And if that doesn't change, his ass need to be fired by the bye week, which is week 5. Okay? That's my biased opinion. Now, this is reality. And let me highlight a comment real quick. So we say the reality of it is this comment right here. Raheem and Terry ain't going nowhere. Wholeheartedly agree. They ain't going nowhere. I don't see it. I don't see how firing Raheem and Terry Fontenot is going to make this organization better. Don't see it. The only way that I see Raheem and Terry being fired, at least one of these guys, is there has to be a change in regime. And what I mean regime is I'm talking about old baby blood blank. Okay, we saw him being more involved in the draft process, meeting the players. So at some point, Josh Blank is definitely going to be the majority owner or the active owner for the Atlanta Falcons. And Arthur still is going to be here, but with his age being 80 something, at some point in time, he's not going to be involved with day-to-day operation like that. So Josh is going to eventually step in. Now, this is the reason why I say this is why Raheem and Terry will be fired, is because Josh may want his guys in there. And Arthur is like, all right, my time is up. I'm going to give all the ranks and the power to my son. Granted, it's approved by the NFL. I don't see why the NFL wouldn't approve Josh as the principal owner. I mean, just as what they with Stephen Jones, Dallas Cowboys, he's very much involved with the organization, but he's the clear successor, in my opinion. Well, it's clear that he's successor to Arthur Blank. But I don't see why firing Raheem and Terry Fontenot is going to help the Atlanta Falcons in the long term, outside of them just, all right, Josh is the guy. Josh is our guy. That's the only way I see Raheem and Terry Fontenot is going to get fired. And that's we're going to completely start over with a new regime for the Atlanta Falcons. That's where I see this going. So again, this the truth of the matter. Y'all got my honest opinion. Y'all got my personal opinion, and you got the truth of the matter. I don't see how firing Raheem is the answer to the Atlanta Falcons issues, because the issue at hand is the coaching staff. The issue at hand is the organization sticking with the development plan, sticking with the schematic plans. You got to choose the types of players in the organization, the types of offense that you want to be, whether it's a quarterback driven, a balanced offense, a passing game driven, a running game driven. Defensively, you're just going to go out and get a bunch of talented edge rushers like the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to make a decision on what you're going to be. And that's what we're talking about, development. And when everybody hears something about development, people just think this is just, all about the coaching. But no, it's about the scheme, the types of player that you want, the types of the attitude that you want to exhibit, day to day, the types of players that you want, good guys, off the field issues. Do you want to give guys that had off the field issues? Do you want to give these guys a chance? But you look at Pittsburgh have that with their wide receivers. They want edgy wide receivers. Damn near all they top wide receivers done had some type of goddamn mental problem. These Negroes are psycho. Okay? I mean, with the exception of Hines Ward, but most of their damn wide receivers have been nuts. In trouble. Have gotten in trouble. Attitude. All of this. So I don't see Raheem and Terry Fontenot being gone anywhere anytime soon, but we'll see. Been wrong before. We'll see about that. Bobby boy, what's going on? He says that And obviously we got that 18 week 18 for the Saints. That is to be determined as far as the time is concerned. Is that we'll see about that. He says it's simple. If things don't change, RAHEEM and Terry will be gone. You don't have to take my word for it. All you need to do is ask Gerard Mayo of New England. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I disagree or agree. It's like at this point, like this is all RAHEEM, man. Bro, you gotta step up. You gotta showcase. You have to showcase and give the fans. And this is why we having this conversation tonight. I'm telling y'all, bro, y'all do not want to miss tonight's show on 6MK Live. Look, it's already pinned, so wherever you are, whether it's Mad Mike Network or Mad Mike Sports, you do not want to miss tonight's show. I'm telling you. Because we going to lay it out. Look, this going to be in your face. This is going to be an in your face episode that you do not want to miss. I'm telling you. Because there are some things that we've seen that a lot of people too chicken shit to talk about. Because they head is so far up this man booty. Let's keep it real. Y'all head is so far up this man booty because the not the contents of his character, but just the color of his skin. Y'all been blind. Y'all been blinded and led astray because the Negro is black. Not the contents of his character, but the skin color. The culture. Y'all been led astray because, we gotta have somebody who exhibits the culture. The culture, the culture, the culture. Let's get the boys and who feel like I feel. Let's get guys in here that look like me, and we wear all Atlanta Falcons gear, and we all Georgia. We all Georgia sports. I'm a Georgia fan. You a Georgia fan. You hee-haw. And you wonder why we get laughed at. Because we worried about motherfucker, his culture and him wearing Jordans and him being able to connect with players because they like to go to strip clubs together. This motherfucker went, what fucking coach go to a strip club with his goddamn players? And thank you, Bobby Boy, for the $5 super chat. But what type of damn goon go to a damn strip club with their players? What fucking fool and head coach is gonna go to a damn strip club? If that ain't a red flag, boy, I don't know what is. You supposed to be a leader and say, hey guys, let's go to the strip club together. Huh? I don't want my head coach in no strip club with no goddamn players. That happened in Tampa Bay. And I wouldn't be surprised it happened in Atlanta because RAHEEM, that's the type of guy. And then he realized, he said it in, and this comes from him. This is his own, this is his take. This ain't me making this up. Look, this RAHEEM said this. Oh, that was amazing. That was a mistake. I don't want my head coach in strip clubs and constantly going out with his players. No, I do not. Because players get complacent when you're hanging out and everybody's just having fun. No, fuck fun. Let's get to work, motherfucker. Fuck if we get along. Do you respect me as a leader? Are you going to do what the fuck I tell you to do when I need you to do it? Those are the things that I'm looking at when I'm talking about my head coach. That's what I care about. I don't give a fuck if Julio Jones and I like peanut butter salad. I don't like it. We like mustard sandwiches and jelly sandwiches and whatever the fuck food we like. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Oh, we both like to smoke weed together. I don't care. I don't care what you and your players like to do together. Are you gonna run through that motherfucking wall if I say so? Are you going to get behind me when I say I need this for you? This is the type of things that I need my players and my coach to have a relationship. Look, that's what I need them to be worried about. I don't give a fuck about him liking me. Like Jalen Ramsey say, oh, Coach Ryan's a good guy. I like him. Who cares? Bitch, you better run through this goddamn hole if I call this play. If I need you to step on the motherfucker's fingers, I need you to do that shit by my word. That's what I need my players to do. If I said you will do it, that's what I want my head coach and my players' relationship to be. Fuck smiling and going to a fucking club together. Cause that shit don't equate to no goddamn on wins. If I can't get Tyler Algier to run through a motherfucking wall for me, what the fuck good is a Raheem Morris and the Tyler Algier? And he won't do what I want him to do when I want him to do it. So Ghost Pepper, you're not alone. Am I the only one that's saying this? How is the GM getting held accountable for the head coach fuck ups? That's why we gonna have this conversation tonight, this evening at 6 MK Live. This is exactly what we talking about. Because Terry Fontenot didn't tell Young Wei Koo to keep kicking when we clearly saw the man injured. Terry Fontenot didn't say, you know what? I know week after week after week, our quarterbacks are throwing 2+ interceptions, almost 3, 4, 5 games in a row. Ain't throwing no touchdowns. You know what? Raheem said week after week after week after week. Didn't say the team was the reason why we win. He said Kirk Cousins was the reason why we didn't win. He said that week after week after week after week after week after week. It wasn't Terry Fontenot saying that. It wasn't Terry Fontenot that went out and said we need to bench Kirk Cousins. That was Raheem Morris. So how in the hell do we want Terry Fontenot fired when he brought in a quarterback that, from what I understand, Raheem wanted? Because he had a relationship with him previously with his time in Washington. Terry Fontenot gave him what he wants, and now everybody wants him fired because he brought in Kirk Cousins. So no, you're definitely not the only one. So I don't trust Radio Raheem. We need players that are starter to play in preseason. I don't care nothing about preseason because I know I'm not gonna see Michael Penix. We're gonna see Kirk Cousins for the most part. Yeah, Kirk, you're gonna have to play in preseason if your ass not gone by now. Jaden, what's going on? You got to be accountable. It's just simple as that. And this right here is one of the things. Look, fuck you and your speeches. Everybody know the great Marshawn Lynch.
What's one of his most favorite quotes? I'm about that action, boss. I'm about that action. So the hell with Raheem and his speeches and smiling and giggling and laughing and we're gonna play rap music. Do I give a shit? No. Because if you are a analyst for the Atlanta Falcons, if you are a writer responsible for the Atlanta Falcons, if you are a fan of the Atlanta Falcons, if you are the owner and front office executives of the Atlanta Falcons, all you care about is win, because when the Atlanta Falcons wins, we all make more money. And we all get that clout that we all seek. Some more than others, but we all get the clout and we all get more money. Even the motherfuckers standing on the street at the gas station at the Quick Trip selling Falcons gear. Everybody make more money when the Atlanta Falcons win. So I don't give a damn about you and your rah-rah ass speeches and talk about, we're going to be tough and going to be rough and going to be fast and we're going to play together. Fuck you and your speeches and win. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what and who you bring in. Your best friends and your grandmama best friend from 1929. I don't care about none of that shit. Get the job done. Show me improvement. Stop fucking smiling. Stop giving me these long ass drawn out speeches from goddamn Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I don't care nothing about that. Get the job done. We want to sit up here and be mad at guys like Mike Smith and Dan Quinn and all these guys, but this motherfucker is showing us the same thing over and over and over again, and we happy. We pointing the fingers at everybody else and letting this smiling, giggling motherfucker show us 23rd ranked defense, last in goddamn sacks, second to last in sacks, blowing a 6-3 lead, and we perfectly fine with that. We want to keep on rehashing the same bullshit with goddamn Jimmy Lake when this son of a bitch keep bringing back his best friends of his best friends of his best friends of his best friends and his best friend, and we talking about Jeff Ulbrich. Now I gotta sit up here as an Atlanta Falcon fan and hope and wish that Jeff Ulbrich is going to be the difference maker. I got to hope and wish that a guy like James Pitts Jr. is going to be the next Javon Curse, the next Julius Peppers, or Jalen Walker is going to be the next great goddamn edge rusher since we seen Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney. I got to hope and wish, because this son of a bitch keeps showing us and saying the same thing over and over and over again since 2015. Fuck you and your rah-rah ass speeches. Show me that action, boss. I am sick and tired as a fan, as a guy who covers the Atlanta Falcons. I'm tired of talking about goddamn 7-10. I am tired of talking about losing to the goddamn Panthers, what we shouldn't be losing. I am tired of talking about Matt Ryan is the greatest quarterback in this Atlanta Falcons history. I am tired of talking about Michael Vick being the most electrifying goddamn quarterback we have ever seen. I'm sick of it. I need to win, and I need a motherfucking championship right now. Fuck you and your capri pants, and fuck you and that goddamn chiclet ass smile. Fuck that. And if you don't like that as a Falcon fan, if you ain't sick and tired of this shit, if you ain't sick and tired of your goddamn head coach keep telling you the same shit over and over and over again, and all we get is a 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, and a one win more than what the fuck we talking about, I don't know what to fucking tell you no more. You are not a fan if you are arcade with this shit. We gotta sit up here year after year after year, 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, 8-9. Like, what are we talking about? And we perfectly okay with this. Because the nigga is black. The nigga wears Jordan. The nigga is friendly with his team. Show me the action. Enough. Stop blaming everybody else. Because I've seen the necessary changes in Arthur Blank. I've seen it. Is it enough? No. But I haven't seen the necessary changes in Raheem. He keep telling me that he gonna change. He keep telling us we gonna win. He told us that if we get a quarterback, a better quarterback, that we were gonna be in the playoffs. Ha ha, we got that. Our quarterback was third in the fucking league, or third or fourth. I know he was top 5. I think he had 3,500 yards passing. 3,500 yard passings, top 5 in the league in passing. And guess what? We missed the fucking playoffs. This son bitch told us that we get a better quarterback, we were gonna be in the playoffs. Did that happen? No. But guess what the headlines is from all these motherfuckers that's in on these damn these Falcon channels? Guess who? All these Falcon channels, all these Falcons content creators, whether it's X, aka Twitter, YouTube, all these people keep telling me, oh, it's Jimmy Lake fault. It's Jimmy Lake fault. It's Jimmy Lake fault. Every year we point the finger at somebody instead of the head coach. Go to the same, oh, it's all the Blank fault. Stop blaming. We got to start looking at a lot of these coaches and a lot of these people that we like. We got to start looking at these people who we like and hold them accountable. The people that we like are not being held accountable. Why? Because we like them. I believe in them. Y'all know the song, I believe in Joe Hendry. That's what y'all doing. You singing lullabies for Raheem. We're trying to give Jimmy Lake, who was never qualified, who was never special in any right in the NFL, because he wasn't even, y'all putting all the blame on him. And the people with the most experience and the people that y'all say is most qualified get excuses after excuses after excuses. This motherfucker has been in the league since he was 23, 24 years old. Nothing. Ain't done nothing. Look at his win percentage. Nothing. He like 20-something games under 500, and yet y'all keep giving it excuse after excuse after excuse. At least when Arthur Smith was hired, he had somewhat of a resume of winning. Even if a good play caller, he has a resume for that. This motherfucker had 1 good season, 2 good seasons. Let's give him that. 2 good seasons with the Rams and say, yep, he's qualified to be a head coach. For what? Hold these guys accountable for their actions, for what they have said. He has said time and time again, and look, everything this man said. This ain't me saying it. He said the Atlanta Falcons were a quarterback away and traded away Desmond Ridder. He made Desmond Ridder the scapegoat. Y'all was fine with it. You said if we got a new quarterback in here, we a playoff team. Well, got a new quarterback, paid him $100 million. Still not. Y'all were perfectly fine with this man bringing in a unqualified defensive coordinator, and instead of being pointing the finger at him, say, Raheem, what the hell were you thinking to bring this unqualified ass defensive coordinator in here? Y'all say, yep, the Falcons suck because of Jimmy Lake. So again, we're gonna go into detail about this, but y'all can start throwing y'all comments in there, y'all questions. Now, I know what the fuck he said. He said both of them, Jordan Taste Boy. Fuck him and fuck Raheem and his goddamn sayings at this point. Show me that action. I don't give a fuck if it's right or if it's wrong. He said if the Atlanta Falcons would quote unquote had a better quarterback, he wouldn't be. That's the same fucking shit. End of the day, it didn't work. And thank you, sir, for coming in. ATL Gunners, what's going on? How you doing? Appreciate you. Folks ain't getting my hard-earned money until we win championships. I love my Falcons. And like I said, and Dan Quinn, he did the same thing with Raheem, bringing the unqualified ass. Look, this is just a way to preserve his own ass. I see past this nonsense. Show me that action. I don't care about none of your rah-rah speeches. I don't care about how many players you don't drafted and how many edge guys, the James Pierce and Walker. Show me. It's simple as that. And let me say something about this goofy ass shit. And I'm not saying you saying this, but I see this bullshit. I'm saying this bullshit too. Talking about Ryan Nielsen was a better deep nigga. When? Excuse me, but when? He got a damn good team and a damn good defense in Jacksonville, and he sucks. Where he at? The Falcon defense was no better with Ryan Nielsen. But y'all want to say Ryan Nielsen better than Jimmy Lake? When? Where? He got worse when he went to a team with better personnel. And this is stuff that, again, this is the stuff that y'all been lied to and led astray because people just want to find a reason to like Raheem Morris and dislike Jimmy Lake. Y'all want to point the finger at everybody except for the issue at hand. Raheem Morris is a fucking problem. Until he shows me that he can and will make a good defense, I have no reason to believe him. He's giving me no reason to believe in him. No, let me rephrase that. He's giving you, okay, you who listening right now, whether it's on the replay or live, he's giving you no reason to say he can build a defense. What he did with the Rams ain't Falcons. What he did with the Rams wasn't a defense that he built. He didn't build that. Oh, I already hear. Oh, Mike, but you give him a chance to build it. How many chances does this guy need? How many chances does he need? So, again, seems like you're doing enough finger pointing at Ross, so the rest of us don't need to. No, I'm not pointing fingers at Raheem. I'm calling you out. Y'all. Because everybody want to put the finger, y'all want to point all the fingers at Jimmy Lake Y'all want to put all the fingers at players like Matthew Judon, and nobody's saying, all right, who put this together? Who's the head coach? Who hired the offensive coordinator? Who hired the defensive coordinator? Who brought in Kirk Cousins? Who told Terry Fontenot this is the type of player that I need? Who told Terry Fontenot this is the type of coach I need? Who told Arthur Blank that, look, if you give me a second chance, I'll do this for you? Who did all of that? Because had this been Dan Quinn, everybody be saying the same thing. Everybody would be saying, all right, Dan Quinn need to go. If it was Dan Quinn, if it was Mike Smith, everybody would have said, yep, he need to go. Because it's because of a guy that we like and we feel sorry or some sort of connection to, we want to give him chance after chance after chance. Meanwhile, guys like Brian Cox get fired for speaking up and be animated and showing guys the right way. They get fired for it. They get fired for challenging players. They get fired for challenging players. I thank God for a team or organization like the Steelers, because year after year, even when they have some of the top defenses in the league, which is his level of expertise defensively, they stand behind Mike Tomlin because they know his true worth. Mike Tomlin get all the brunt of all the blame. Why? Because he's the head coach. But it's the complete opposite in regards to Raheem Morris and that team. Everybody else, Matthew Judon suck. Desmond Ritter suck. Kyle Pitts suck. The offensive line ain't doing well enough. Is everybody else's fault instead of saying, all right, who's the head coach and why did he bring this guy to come in to do this and he didn't bring this guy in to do that and he didn't make this adjustment during games? Like, why did he do any of that? We start calling people out like Matthew Judon. Oh, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything anyway. Again, Eric, that's what I'm talking about. This right here. Every year that defense get better, and you wonder why he's still the head coach. That's why, because his defense he's consistent. So all the Steelers have to do is find a quarterback, and that's not no easy task to find a quarterback. So that's why they're sticking behind him. So if they find the right quarterback to get them to a certain point, look, they be fine. But there's no consistency when you look at Raheem Morris. At nothing. People want to ignore it and point the fingers at everybody else's flaws and give the guy who's supposed to be the leader, the guy that's supposed to have the entire plan mapped out. His job as a head coach is to have it all mapped out. Period. I don't care about whether it's fair. I don't care about whether you don't have it all or it's going to take you time. I don't care about none of that. Your job as the head coach is to have it all mapped out. Period. Have a plan. If you don't have a plan, fuck you. Get out of here. I don't want to blame Kyle Pitts for route running when our defense is giving up 25 points. Man, you can suck a left nipple off of a camel with that nonsense. It's crazy to see we be focused on fucking route running when our defense is giving up 25 fucking points in a quarter and shit.
That shit is wild to me. So, Southside, that's why this year is my first year of judgment on Raheem. That's why I said, look, I'm willing to give people an opportunity. I don't want to fire because firing Raheem is not good for the organization. Because when you fire guys like this every 2 years, look, there's no stability. You gotta have stability. So in order for the Falcons to create that stability, you gotta make sure that you give guys a chance. But me giving him a chance don't mean I'm not gonna get in this shit. That's what y'all want. Y'all want us to give him a chance and not give him any kind of criticism. Yet y'all go and say, yep, Kyle Pitts, he suck. We want to blame, oh yeah, Jimmy Lake, he sucked. He didn't do it in 1 year. Y'all got a quicker temper for an individual like Kyle Pitts, Caleb McGarry, D. Alford, and those guys. Y'all want to get rid of those guys quick. But when your head coach continue to show you week after week, year after year, he ain't worth shit, y'all want to keep him around. Just saying. So my thing is, like I said, and here you go. Here you go. I love you, dog, but this bullshit. He only has one season. One season at what? You had Tony Dungy as a mentor. You've had Joe Gibbs as a mentor. Sean McVay as a mentor. All three of those guys have won championship. Monty Kiffin, one of the greatest defensive minds of all time, as a mentor. John Gruden as a mentor. How many more mentors and people that you need around you to finally get something right? This dude had two Hall of Famers for sure as mentors, and he still hasn't done anything real. He still he still ain't doing nothing good. How long is this going to take? Do we got to wait another 2 to 3 years as Falcons fans for him to finally get it together? Are y'all, that's what you're saying? Because, oh, he's only had 1 year. Well, how long is it going to take? How many years are we going to keep saying year after year after year after year? Well, man, he's only had 1 year. The conversation changed that. Well, he's only been here 2 years. Well, the conversation changed. Well, he's only been here 3 years. And then y'all, the next course of actions, well, look at Mike Tomlin. They've given him 20 years to get it right. We need to give Raheem that same respect. Why? All because people have an attachment and a certain respect and a love for a guy. That's why you give him chance after chance after chance, because you have a certain attachment. Look, at the end of the day, the only attachment that Arthur Blank is looking for, the only attachment that fans are looking for is wins. And again, everybody's saying, well, money, well, look, it's been 20 years. That's Mike Tomlin defense, okay? Period. Those are the types of players that he gets. Look, y'all can say that black shit for somebody who gives a fuck. I don't. I don't care nothing about no black coach. We care. Fuck that bullshit. Show me that action, boss. I don't care about you being yellow, green. Look, that motherfucker can have an invisibility cloak on. I don't give a fuck. Okay? That motherfucker can be invisible. As long as that motherfucker can get us wins and consistency, that's what I care about. Fuck him being white, black, yellow, green, invisible. I don't give a damn. Show me the money. Look, that motherfucker can be, he can be a goddamn, he can be a damn robot. Falcons hired the first ever robot as head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. As long as that motherfucker consistent, I'm good. No, ain't no y'all brought it up. No. We brought out Mike wants consistency. I don't care now him being no black. I don't care if he white. Does everybody look at Kirby Smart and say, yep, Kirby only good because he white? Yeah, Kirby only good because he white. Yep. Yeah, boss. He's only good because he white. No, nobody says that. Nobody said Kirby Smart is only getting these recruits. By the way, a lot of them are black. That's a whole nother situation. But nobody's saying Kirby Smart is only good at recruiting because he's white. Yeah, we had this mentality as black people saying we got to keep bringing in a bunch of black athletes and black coaches and black GMs and black owners and black front office executives. But nobody's saying, Joe Montana was only good because he was thrown to a black wide receiver. Man, who the fuck says this stupid shit? Us, Falcons fans. If you just would have brought in a black offensive lineman, you wouldn't be in this position. The fuck out of here with this nonsense. Anybody up here saying we need a black quarterback? Fuck that. We got a damn half-breed at fucking quarterback. Could be quite possibly the greatest quarterback of all time. He don't fit in anybody's category if you want to be real about it. And I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. He white and he black. Daddy black and his mom white and he don't fit in. Y'all couldn't wait to throw him back in the trash. Black people don't want him and white people don't want him. But he's a winner. Look at Trey Young. Motherfuckers don't even know why they don't like Trey Young. He put up numbers after numbers after numbers. Not really getting the players and the organization to do right. People say he overrated. Come on, bro. Say the same thing about Halliburton. Overrated. Nobody cares about him. Why? Because he don't fit y'all image of what a player and a superstar is supposed to be. And if you don't fit that fucking narrative, nobody cares and everybody say you overrated and you this and you's only that. Tonight's show is going to be off the fucking chain. And that's why I love Steph. Steph don't look, me and Steph was literally about the same fucking size. We literally about the same height, same size, all that shit. Because he's a yellow boy who smiles and the son of a great. He said, no,
it's not impressive to just shoot threes. Who the hell said that? Have you ever tried to shoot? Have you ever tried to shoot logo threes consistently? You miss most of them. This motherfucker right here, Steph, come on, bro. This man is on pace to double Hall of Fame legends' career total in threes. He about to double this shit. He's about to double. I'm talking about Hall of Fame marksman. He about to double their career total in threes, and people are still not putting him in the conversation for greatest of all time. Man, please get out of here. And this is the stuff I'm talking about, because people don't like you, and they don't see you as someone that they can get behind, or somebody that the style that they don't like. They like to discredit you. You think Kyle Pitts should be a Hall of Famer like Julio Jones? He should be Julio Jones because he's 6'6" and 240 pounds. He should be Julio. I can't understand why. He was never that to begin with. But because y'all had an image of what his career should be, y'all don't want to accept him. This is how guys like Tom Brady end up getting drafted in the 7th round, because he didn't fit what y'all thought was a great quarterback. This is why Matt Ryan was not in Miami and he was in Atlanta, because he didn't fit what a fucking scout and a coach thought that he would be. They didn't look at his abilities in college, where he showed you the pedigree of winning and beating big time and big time teams and big defenses and top defenses. He exhibit all those traits, but because he was a white boy from Philadelphia who was not athletic and didn't have amazing arm, y'all look past all of that nonsense. Why? Because he didn't fit the majority's image. RAHEEM is nothing more than the perfect, and I'm talking about the perfect image of what Atlanta Falcons culture deem is the perfect head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. This is why all the blame's on players, all the blame's on the coaches, and no blame on the head coach. I see more people pissed off at Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts and Jimmy Lake than I see them pissed at RAHEEM. Is that Asia in there? What's going on, girlie? More people are upset about those three guys right there than they are RAHEEM. So I know this ain't sitting well with quite a few people, but guess what? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck. Because at some point in time, as fans, we got to start holding everybody. It don't matter what it is and who, and I like this guy. Yeah, I like Julio Jones, but that bitch stole $60 million and got the fuck on. RAHEEM said that, and like you said, he really tried to put it in his favor. If we would have had a quarterback, then I wouldn't be here. So you're essentially saying if you had a good quarterback, the Falcons would be in the playoff team. Got a quarterback, didn't happen. So you went out got two quarterbacks.
So with Michael Penix, guess what? I expect the playoffs. According to what RAHEEM, because he's saying if the offense do what they do, the Falcons should have no problem being a playoff. So if our quarterbacks put up the numbers and put up the effort, I don't want none excuses. I don't want zero excuses. I don't want no excuses about us not making the playoffs if our quarterback, whether it's Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix playing this year or just Michael Penix playing this year. I don't want no excuses as to why we don't make it to the playoffs. We want to make excuses after excuses for this guy and point the finger at every aspect of this defense that is flawed, every aspect of the offense that is flawed, every aspect of the coaching staff that is flawed. And at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm about that action, boss. Show me the money. Show me the wins. Show me the playoffs. And then I will finally shut the hell up like so many Falcons fans want me and AFN to do. Y'all want us to shut the hell up. I want to be shut up too. Because I'm about sick of fucking Arthur Blank and his, we're going to get it together. I'm about sick of goddamn team president saying year after year, get it done. Show me. I'm tired of seeing quarterbacks talking about, well, we didn't play well as a team. I'm tired of hearing Grady Jarrett fucking, well, I do my job and, everybody else, blah, blah, blah. Look, show me. Tired of it. Look, no excuses now. You got everything that you want. You got a damn good roster offensively. Mooney, Drake, Kyle Pitts. You got some pretty good young core guys, the Washingtons. You got a Ray McLeod. That's a quality third or fourth, depending on what you got a quality wide receiver there. Guys like Joshua Simon, we expect to be, at least quality tight ends, or one you can develop. You got one of the best offensive lines, a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. You got 2 edge rushers, 3 edge rushers if you really want to throw Braylon Trice in there. Brandon Dorless, David Onyemata, who a lot of people say is underrated for the Atlanta Falcons. You got one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and AJ Terrell, the best safety in the game, in my opinion, and Jesse Bates. I don't want no excuses about why you're not a playoff team. I'm not even saying we should win a Super Bowl. I'm talking about making the playoffs. Falcons don't make the playoffs, Raheem Morris should never, ever even touch a head coaching job ever in his life again. You picture giving this fucking roster to a Sean Payton, to a Mike Tomlin, man, please, they will have us in the damn Super Bowl. Give this roster to goddamn Kyle Shanahan, he'll have us in the Super Bowl. So I don't want no excuses. None. I don't want to hear nothing about it's only 1 year, 2 year, and he need more time. Fuck that. So, like I said, my expectations for Raheem are very simple. I want consistency. That's it. And I'm talking about consistency as far as whether our pass rush improves, our linebacker core improves, whether it's our DB and developing DBs. I want simple. I'm not unreasonable with my quote unquote disdain for Raheem. Just show me consistency, bro. I don't want to fucking hear you after every damn press conference say we're gonna get together. Next question. Trying to hurry up and shut the media up because you failed. No. Gabriel, how you doing, sir? Legit no excuses if we miss the playoffs, even with the health they have depth at key positions. Yes, sir. And that's why having a guy like Kirk Cousins as the backup, look, he has no excuses. God forbid something happened to Michael Penix. We still got a legit quarterback behind him. This dude has no excuses. This Falcon team have no excuses not to be in the playoffs. None. With the way the roster is, and if the roster, especially if the roster is healthy. Now, we're talking about something completely different if we just have a rash of injuries, God forbid that. You know, give them another shot. But like right now, as it stands with this team, of Leonard Floyd, who I forgot about, he's another guy. We have no excuses to not be a playoff team. The way this roster is constructed, if it stays healthy, there is no excuses. None. Because who built this? Who put this together? Terry Fontenot, Kyle Smith, those guys put this together. Especially with the win offseason and free agency draft, we're on the playoff team. RAHEEM should be looked very carefully as of being fired, no question, but still given a chance. Wallace, how you doing, sir? If we're 1-3 by week, about a bye week, then he got to go. Like I said, for me, look, it ain't nothing. Like I said, man, I'm not for firing RAHEEM. I just want to improve. That's all. Oh, no. See, with me, there's a major difference when people call me out. Get loud and cuss them out. No, I don't get loud and cuss you out. That's not true. I cuss your stupid ass points out. And people think because I call your points out, I'm cussing them out. No, I'm just calling you a stupid, what you said, stupid. Okay? See, RAHEEM, he don't want to talk about it because well, he know he did was dumb. Jay Black, how you doing, sir? Nah. For one, people too chicken shit to actually have a debate with me and actually have a conversation with me. K Styles, they too chicken shit to have a conversation. Where you challenge so many people and everybody ran for the hills. No, I get you, bro. Don't worry about it. I get you. I attack people's points and what they actually say. That's why people run for the fucking hills and we're too busy. I can't do it. We challenge people. We challenge people's knowledge and we challenge people to actually do their research. And some people are just too chicken shit or they too lazy to actually do homework. They stand on what they know and they stand on what they've been taught because they comfortable being who they are. Oh, but I do get loud. I'm a loud motherfucker. I know that. I mean, look, I want the best, but in order to have a chance to get to there, we got to even get to the playoffs. We ain't even getting there. We had to win one game and then that last, 5 games or so, and we couldn't even do that. But we blaming Jimmy Lake. we blaming Kyle Pitts route running. Well, all we had to do as a team is win one game. We blaming Jimmy Lake play calling and Kyle Pitts route running. When our head coach watched a whole quarterback completely, I'm talking about this man, his whole life. I'm talking about this man was so sad to even watch. It was painful to watch Kirk Cousins play those last 5 games. And he stood there and just watched. And we instead of saying, what the fuck, why he ain't benching Kirk, we nitpicked Jimmy Lake and we nitpicked Kyle Pitts. But we're going to have more of this discussion. So 6 p.m. Thank you to Bobby Means for the $5 super chat. Truly appreciate you, brother. And everybody that continues to support your boy here at Man Mike Sports, Man Mike Network. Like I said, this conversation is going to be real good tonight. I'm telling y'all this evening. So that's all I got to say about that. This has been your boy Man Mike with another video live show. Peace out of here. But check out this word right here.
Check him live. 6MK himself, aka K-Style, aka Pame, today at this evening at 6 o'clock to kill 5. The conversation is going to be RAHEEM Morris is the new Michael Vick. I know you probably looking at yourself like, what in the hell are these guys up to this time? Well, this conversation is definitely going to pique your interest because we're going to be straight up real about this situation, because there's been some comments that's been stated about RAHEEM Morris, and some people don't want to speak on it, some want to speak on it, but we're going to give you the full breakdown tonight. All right. Again, 6 p.m. this evening. Check us out, 6MK Live. You definitely do not want to hit that. And that's the bottom line, because Mad Mike said so.